Okay, Jeff, maybe just start with two of the offensive players that you added in Skinner and Arvidsson, and just maybe a thought on where potentially they could play in your lineup, and if you're happy with the level of offense you were able to add in these two.
Yeah, no, we're very pleased to add both Victor and Jeff to our top six group. I think that they're complementary players to the guys that we already have in those roles. Victor's, great speed, very tenacious, puck battle winner, he can score. So we really like him, and I don't know exactly. You'd have to talk to Chris, and I'm sure they'll jig things around a little bit here and there during the season. But we probably see him playing on the right side with Leon, and we think that's a good fit. And then with Jeff Skinner, obviously a guy who has had a long career, scored a lot of goals in the league. A couple years ago had almost 80 points. Very good player, very smart player, can play with lots of skill, and play with skilled players. And so the thing we really liked about him too is he's just like Victor. They're good 5-on-5 players. They score goals and produce offense at 5-on-5. So both of those guys are going to add like a really nice element to our top six. So we're super happy, very pleased to get both of them, and look forward to next year with them in that group.
Quick follow-up, Jeff, just on Evander Kane. We know he was dealing with something in the playoffs there. Do you have any update on what this offseason is going to look like for him, and if you expect him ready for training camp?
He was dealing with an issue with his hip, as we've said, and we're just going through a process right now to see what we need to do on that front. So he's getting the best care he can get, and advice from our doctors, and we're gonna talk to his agent, consult with both Evander and his agent Dan Milstein, just to make sure that we're getting second opinions and things like that. So that's sort of where it's at. We haven't nothing's planned as of yet beyond that. So first is really a consult sort of with a specialist.
Yeah, but planning around his money being on the books, no LTI or anything like that stuff.
No, I mean, he's in our roster and on our cap, and we got to take care of his health first and foremost, just to make sure he's healthy.
And for that, we'll go to Daniel Nugent-Bowman.
Hi, Jeff. You made some moves to the right side of your defense, notably adding Josh Brown. I wonder where you're at with that group, and there's something out there about Troy Stetcher possibly coming back, and also if you see Philip Broberg as a right side option, or if you're planning on starting the year with him at right defense, I should say.
Again, that's going to be, he played right D with primarily Darnell in the playoffs and played very well. But again, it's going to be, it's going to be a coach's decision. We're going to find room for Broby to play. So that'll sort of sort itself out as we get through and into camp. But that'll be a coaching decision at the end of the day. Somebody will probably have to move over to the right side. It might be Broby. Yeah, adding Josh Brown. We felt like we knew we weren't going to be able to bring back Vinny for cap reasons. So we knew we wanted to go out and get some size. He's a hard player to play against. He's good boxing out in front of the net. He's tough. He adds that element. Great teammate. We did our due diligence and talked to coaches that he's had in the NHL, and so we added him for that element. And we see him fitting in there. And then we're looking to add depth. We want to make sure we have a very deep decor. So we're still exploring that. Stetch is one of the guys that's an option for us for sure. Not quite done on anything there yet. So, but we signed Connor Carrick, played NHL games in his career, great skater, high character. That he adds to our group, have a chance to play. Add him to Cam Dineen and Gleason down in Bakersfield. We feel really confident with our call-up group. So yeah, we're working on a couple things still, but we don't have anything to sort of announce.
Okay. And this is not germane to free agency, but there was pretty big news in the NHL today with Stan Bowman being reinstated. Can't be hired until next Wednesday. I just wonder if he's in consideration at all for the vacant GM job.
To be honest, I was so busy today that I only sort of heard about it when we finished up some of the things we were trying to get done. So I haven't really thought about it. I mean, Stan's obviously a long time GM and successful, and the NHL reinstated all three of the guys today. So I'm running a bit on fumes here because of the schedule with the playoffs and then the draft and free agency. So I haven't given any of it any thought, to be honest. I gotta sort of decompress for a couple of days, but and then I gotta move forward with my GM search. So to be honest, I can't comment right now.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Thank you for that. We'll go to Robert Kichkowski.
I'll unmute first. Hey, Jeff. Getting players to come here, or in some cases stay here. Did you find that was maybe a bit easier in the wake of going to the Stanley Cup final? Is that currency showing itself already?
Yeah, I mean, it helps go into the finals for sure, I think. But at the end of the day, like, there's two things I sort of see. It's we've got players like, Connor, Leon, Himes, Nuge, great players, great teammates, Nursey, Eki, Bush. Like, we've got a great group, and that goes around the league, so players know that. And then the players that are here playing there that we re-signed, they know it. Obviously, they lived it. And I would just say, Kenny Holland built a really good culture here over the last 5 years, a winning culture. So it's become a destination place, and in many ways. And when the team's as competitive as we are, that clearly helps. So it's a combination of things, I think.
So a lot of these were short-term deals. Is that kind of the new normal for the mid-range guys, or is that just kind of the way it worked out just with the age of some of the players and
Yeah, I mean, I think it's preference for sometimes players' preference to do short-term deals just based on timing and stuff. And the guys that we did today, that just aligned with our ability to manage the cap and project out into the next 2 or 3 years. So to get a deal done with anybody, all of that stuff has to align, and that's sort of what happened today with all the guys that we were either going to bring back or were able to bring back, that like Brownie and Yanni and someone's slipping my mind. I'm sorry. And then the guys that we brought in, that they wanted those sorts of deals, so it worked out well.
All right, thank you.
Tony Barrar, we'll go to you.
And speaking to those guys, Connor Brown, Corey Perry, Matthias Janmark, Calvin Pickard, even last week, how much do you sense the feeling of continuity will help this team grow with the foundation I was able to kind of set this season?
Well, I mean, I think it's critical to go as far as we did, and then to have players scatter. That's tough. Like, that's always tough. And I think these guys all believe in their teammates. They're an extremely close group of guys, tight knit group, which is sort of to me is like probably one of the most key elements of having a team that can win, is just how much you love your teammates. Because you'll do anything for them. And that's the way our group was. So all those guys coming back tells me everything I need to know about this team, and we're happy to have all those guys back. It's great.
Follow up, Tony, or is that it?
That's it for me. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Back to Daniel Bowman for 1.
Hi, Jeff. Just looking at the cap picture and the math, it seems unlikely, but I just wonder if there's any possibility of trying to bring back Adam Henrique.
I would say we're still working on that. It's to be determined. So we would love to have him back. We just got to find a way to do it. If he's, I'm sure he's got interest from other teams. He's an outstanding individual, and he's a very good player, veteran player. So we're working on it, but we're not at the finish line yet. So we'll see how that goes.